spreads, or packed living rooms. When the food is hot and the game is loud, crack open a cold Carbless. Stock up on flavors like black raspberry, lemon lime, and pineapple before game day. Carbless, full of flavor, ready for kickoff.
Listen to Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin on 100.5 ESPN.
Building a program, even in the pros, days are over. It is a year-to-year. You better have your ducks in a row for this coming season. There is no longer, well, let's build up and give this guy 3 or 4 years, because if he's any good, he'll be gone.
Wilde and Tausch, weekdays 9 to noon on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
I worried that I couldn't work a full-time job and still have time for college. But I'm so glad I didn't let that stop me. At Madison College, I found my stride. My classes are flexible and hands-on, and I walk on campus feeling inspired. My advice to others? Make your dreams a reality. There's more to your story at Madison College.
Visit madisoncollege.edu to get started.
This is Wisconsin Volleyball National Champion Devin Robinson. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
It's time to think outside the pocket on Saturday Scramble.
Shut your mouth, Pablo. This is the ugliest thing I have ever worn.
Put some respect to the name. What am I doing? Trying to put water onto this fire. I'm going to throw gasoline into this.
On 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Cliffhanger, hanging from a cliff.
And that's why they call him Cliffhanger.
Yes.
Alongside Riley Jauch, here's Pablo Iglesias.
Has Giannis's time in Milwaukee run its course? That's what we're wondering today, folks. Welcome in. Good morning, everybody. This is the Saturday Scramble. Riley Jauch here. Pablo Iglesias, unfortunately, not with us today. He is down in Dallas. He will be joining us for a segment here shortly. But I'm thrilled to be joined by the play-by-play voice of Wisconsin women's volleyball and Wisconsin women's basketball, the great, the esteemed, the WBA play-by-play broadcaster of the year, John Arias. Great to have you. How you doing this morning?
What's going on? Oh, I got to turn on my mic.
Yes.
Already, oh man, an error right out the gate. What's going on, Riley? I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, I'm doing great. It's a great morning. Last night, went on a date at a roller rink.
What?
Didn't know those still existed, but I'm feeling fantastic.
Did you fall?
Actually, no, I did not. My girlfriend fell once, and some of her friends fell a couple times. But I think we need to bring roller rinks back, personally.
There's a roller rink in the area? I had no idea.
Watertown. You got to drive a little ways up to Watertown, Wisconsin.
How far is Watertown?
Actually, going through Madison, it's like almost an hour away.
Oh, okay.
Once
so
you
get
out
travel.
of Madison, it's only like 30-some minutes.
Okay.
But I love roller rinks.
Dude, I went to roller rinks as a kid. I think I had a birthday party, or I went to somebody's birthday party at a roller rink. It's a blast.
Yeah, I've never been. This is my first time. You're just rolling around. It's just a big wooden chunk in the middle of an old bowling alley type feeling. There's a little arcade. It was fantastic. I feel like society would be in a better place if more people went to the roller rink.
And once you start on the roller skates, like you're like a little wobbly, but after about 10 minutes, most people can I can move. Like, it's fun. Yeah. And there's music, right? There's music and dark.
Yep.
Is it kind of like lights and
it
stuff?
felt like there was like middle school dance vibes.
Yeah, there you go.
It's dark.
Yeah.
There's disco balls, and it was phenomenal. Owen,
have you guys ever been ice skating before?
Yes, once. I don't know how.
Can you compare that to like roller skating?
Very similar. I was on roller blades, and it was very similar. I'd say rollerblading slightly easier than ice skating.
Okay, but
the wheels are a little wider than literally a blade.
But roller skating, I think, is way easier than both of those, blading and ice skating.
Probably.
Oh, so there's a difference between rollerblading and roller skating?
In my personal opinion, yeah. You put me on a pair of roller skates right now, I'll move my way down the hallway. You put ice on the hallway and you put me in ice skates, I will stumble forward and it'll take 20 minutes.
You need one of those like granny walkers to hold you up on the ice.
100%.
It's okay. I did too. The one time I went ice skating, I looked like a baby giraffe on the ice.
Yes, exactly. That's how it feels if you don't know how to ice skate.
Yeah. Thankfully, did not need the helpful little granny chair yesterday. But, Giannis currently nursing a calf injury. He might need one of those to get around. Riley Jauch, John Arias here. This is the Saturday Scramble. Has Giannis's time in Milwaukee run its course? That is what we're wondering today. Feel free to chime in on our Carbless Talk and text line, 844-770-3776. Or feel free, chime in on the YouTube chat, ESPN Madison on YouTube. Or feel free to stream us on the ESPN Wisconsin app as well. There are some people at this station, in this office, who firmly believe that Giannis's time has run its course in the great city of Milwaukee and the great state of Wisconsin. Molly Brown on Jim, Matt, and Molly made a very bold declaration. Here is what she had to say on how she feels about Giannis Antetokounmpo.
I'm over it. Like, he did what he did for the city of Milwaukee. He's done a lot of great things on and off the court. He won a championship, but they're not winning. They're not winning with Giannis. They're not winning without Giannis. Like, there is nothing here anymore for either side. And
John, what do you think?
I heard that, and I listen, Molly, you have to be careful, I think, what you wish for. I get that you're over it. I get it's exhausting right now. The will he, won't he, is he going to say something? Why doesn't he just say something? What's he doing giving the thumbs down to fans? There are things, I think, over the last few years, actually, that I'm not happy with about Giannis. When he pushes the ladder down to get extra shots, remember that? I was like, dude, that is a jerk move. You're better than that. You're Giannis, man. But you have to be very careful what you wish for here. I think if you're a fan of sports in this state, if you're a fan of the Bucks, you need Giannis on your team. And I understand, like I said, it's a tricky time right now. And it's not good on the court. It's not good off the court, and the national media is going to do everything it can to pull Giannis away from boring Milwaukee and throw him over to somewhere exciting like with Golden State and Steph Curry. I understand they want him over in New York. I understand they want him in Miami. I understand they want him here. But getting rid of Giannis on the Bucks would make the Bucks irrelevant, possibly for the rest of your fandom until you die. Listen, if you're a Bucks fan and you remember pre-Giannis, you remember just nothing. It's just like, hey, I think they're going to be like the 8th seed this season. What do you guys think? Probably lose in the first round. Hey, we've got a player who's not a superstar leading our team to a 7th seed maybe. Ooh, this is exciting. It's not exciting.
O.J. Mayo, great player.
O.J. Mayo. Oh, boy, Mayo's in town, baby. Watch out for the...
Yeah!
No, and that's what it's going to be because in the NBA, you need superstars and you need elite superstars. And Giannis is elite, and he's 31 years old. Getting rid of Giannis would be a colossal mistake. I think you have to play this out and just have to keep pushing in the chips and saying, listen, because Giannis, that's what Giannis feeds off of. He feeds off of wanting to be the best, and if he has that support, does that guarantee them success? No. But I'll tell you what guarantees no success. That's getting rid of Giannis and being mediocre and being irrelevant for the next 10, 15, 20 years. I think you keep Giannis as long as you possibly can. You try to get him the next extension, and you try to push in everything and just construct a team around him.
But have they not pushed in all their chips? Like,
it doesn't work all the time.
What chips do they have left to push in?
I understand that.
I don't think they have a draft pick outside of their pick swap with the Pelicans or whatever until like 2033.
But if you get rid of Giannis, yeah, you'll get some draft picks, but that doesn't guarantee you a thing. You want John Horst? I know you're a big Horst fan. You want John Horst drafting for the next 5 years and seeing what that team can do? I don't, because usually that doesn't work. You have to get lucky. You have to find a Giannis, and you found him. So keep him as long as you can. I understand Molly's over it, and that's fine. She can be over it. She can be frustrated with it, but you have to be careful, Bucks fans, what you wish for, because if you say, fine, just get rid of him, then you are setting yourself up for year after year of blah.
844-770-3776, the Carbless Talk and Text line, your way into the show. Feel free to chime in on the ESPN Madison YouTube chat. Like our friend Wisco Greaves, he's debating going to the Bucks-Celtics game tomorrow afternoon just to see Giannis in person one last time. Wisco Greaves, I'm sorry, he's hurt. So you still won't be able to see him play, which I think is honestly the worst thing about this situation, is that fans who want to give their farewells, if he's traded, the Bucks could plausibly wait till the offseason to trade him, which honestly they might get a better haul than what the Warriors, who seem to be the front runners if it happens before the deadline, would give them. So apologies to Wisco Greaves. But, John, I understand where you're coming from. However, I feel like they've tried to go all in. They went after Dame, which I loved at the time, and all Bucks fans loved at the time. That didn't pan out. He kept getting hurt. It seemed like it was just cursed from the get-go. Either Dame, Giannis, or Middleton have been hurt in the playoffs since they won the championship, since 2021. Like, nothing's worked. This year felt like a last gasp. Let's go after Miles Turner, see what he can do. And he's been garbage this season. So I don't know how much more you have left in the tank unless you start. Are teams even going to accept 2035 and beyond draft picks at this point? Like, how are you going to plausibly win another championship, put a team around Giannis that can win a championship at this point? Because I don't think it's possible.
By the way, you're right with Dame. Like, when I heard that, I was like, that is the move. That's what you do.
It felt perfect.
It felt perfect. It felt like it was destined to be great, and it wasn't. And yes, I go into this conversation knowing that it doesn't always work. It works for one team every year. So your success rate's going to be pretty low when you go all in or try to construct a team. And I understand like you said, you may not have the pieces to deal, but this is where you have to rely on your front office to be creative. This is where you have to rely on your front office to do everything in its power to be its best.
But do you trust this Bucks front office right now?
I guess I have to, because there's nobody else I can trust. You know what I mean? Like, I trust them more with Giannis than without. Like, if they don't have Giannis, I'm telling you, it will be a disaster. You will not even be close to competing how you want to. At least when you do have Giannis and you do try to construct something, and Miles Turner, okay, well, I was kind of on the fence with that. I was like, okay, that's okay. Seems pretty good.
Yeah, he had a rough playoff stint, you know. Brook Lopez is getting old. It's time to move on. And then Miles Turner's been worse than Brook Lopez was.
But I'm telling you, man, how much of a Bucks fan were you before Giannis?
Not very much at all.
Did you care about the Bucks?
Marginally, at best. I mean, I was offered free tickets in elementary and middle school from various programs. Can't say I ever accepted. Can't say I ever went to a Bucks game before Giannis. So, no, I really didn't pay attention at all before Giannis.
And that's how it's going to be after Giannis. I'm telling you, whether he, retires as a Buck in 8 years at the age of 39 or 40, or whether he gets traded today or after the season, that's how 80% of fans in the state are going to feel toward the Bucks. Listen, guys, I'm telling you, you have to keep your best players. You have to do as much as you can. Now, there are certain scenarios where it's just, when it's over, it's over. If Giannis came out this afternoon and said, guys, it's done. I know I've said I wanted to be a Buck for my entire career, and we've had a great run, but I'm moving on, and I need to be traded. Mm-hmm. You don't really have much of a choice. That's a different story. But I've been around. I was a big Timberwolves fan growing up, and Kevin Garnett was the man. And I loved KG, and he meant everything to that franchise. But this is different. KG didn't have a championship, and when it was time to move on, I was like, okay, go get your ring, man. Go do what you need to do. I love you, but I want you to succeed. It's different. Giannis has his ring. He's here. He can win another ring. It is possible. I know it doesn't seem that way with all the first-round exits as of late with the record this season. I know it doesn't seem possible, but it will be impossible if you don't have him.
It's hard to disagree. It's just this year's team is a 500 team, even when Giannis is playing. So for me,
well, I thought they're better when he's playing, aren't they? Don't they have a
they're
winning?
awful. They're 500 exactly. They're 15 and
with
15
Giannis in the lineup.
With Giannis in the lineup,
yeah,
15
that
and 15.
That's not good. That's not good.
They're awful. They're like one of the worst teams in basketball when he's not playing. But they're only 500. Owen, you were going to chime in.
Yeah, I mean, just going back to the whole, were you a Bucks fan before Giannis was here, before it was cool to be a Bucks fan when they won a title in 2021? I did not care about the Bucks one bit. But when Giannis started to break through, he won the most improved player, I believe, in 2017.
I believe
the year before
correct.
he won his, 2 years before he won his first MVP in 2019. But when he finally came around, it was like, whoa, this guy is something else. I would say something else this franchise has never seen before. I know we've had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, but Giannis, he's the Greek freak. He is a freak of nature, just the way he can dominate a paint. And I found myself now this past year, and really ever since they won their title in playoff loss after playoff loss, finding myself less invested. And now I just don't know if I could ever watch a Bucks game if Giannis isn't there.
So are you saying, Owen, do you think the Bucks should hang on to Giannis and just run its course, just push off the future mortgage as much as possible and hang on to Giannis until he is 40 plus and like decrepit on the basketball court?
I don't know if I want to hold on to him and just let him simply walk in free agency, but hold him on for the rest of this year. We'll see if do we have that lottery pick? It's either our pick or the Pelicans pick, right?
Yes, we do have that.
See what happens with that lottery pick. I know, we talked about Horst not being the greatest GM when it comes to selecting players in the draft, but I say hold on to him for the rest of this year, get to the draft, see what pick we can get, maybe reevaluate from there.
I think it's just ridiculous. I don't want to be too bold here, but I think it's a little ridiculous if you're a fan of sports in the state to be like, oh, he's 31, he's in his prime. Okay, yeah, let's get rid of him. Let's get rid of the best player to ever grace our team's jersey. Let's get rid of one of the best players in the history of sports in this state. Why? Because we're over him. Listen, man, he's still got a lot left in the tank, and you're going to be kicking yourself when he's 33 years old, putting up 25 and 13 rebounds, shooting 60% from the floor, and still being a dominant force in this league. Well, you have your 23-year-old draft pick that averages 19 points a game.
There's a reason why there hasn't been any other trades in the league right now. Everybody is waiting to see if they'll actually do it because there is not another player available like Giannis Antetokounmpo right now.
Yes, of course. This is like I said, an elite player. There's nobody else that can kind of stand up to his quality. So, yeah, I totally understand why everybody's waiting because that's how good he is. And that's my point, is he's that good. I don't know. It drives me crazy. You're like, let's get rid of the great player. Why do you want to get rid of the great player? Why do you want to get rid of the best player on your team? What are we doing? Are we not trying to win? Again, it's not working right now. It's not always going to work. You're not always going to be 72-10 and win a championship. There are going to be down seasons. It happens. You're not always going to win the Super Bowl. You're not always going to win the World Series. Well, never. You know what I mean? Like, it goes in cycles. It goes in flows. And if you don't have the best on your team, it's never going to go up again.
John Arias. Riley Yao.
Why are we trying to get rid of the best player in the state?
John Arias bamboozled by Bucks fans. Really excited to hear what Pablo Iglesias has to say about Giannis's time in Milwaukee and whether or not the Bucks should move on. Don't go anywhere. Pablo Iglesias coming up next. This is the Saturday Scramble on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Stay tuned. Saturday Scramble continues after this on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side. When you see Diamond Jim, you can count on him to be on your side. Selection beyond compare with on-site repair.
Hey, Pablo, can you hear me?
So you can wear your jewelry with pride.
Awesome.
Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
Staying on Wisconsin sports never stops with the Jump Around podcast.
This is the easiest schedule you could possibly get. So if Fickle can't get 8 wins this year, I don't think he's ever going to get 8 wins at Wisconsin. This has to be the year to turn it around. You got to do it.
The Jump Around podcast with Jim Rutledge and Pablo Iglesias. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions. Streaming live every Thursday at 12:30 on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Let's be honest, I don't do stink. I work hard, I sweat, but I still want my gear to smell good and last. That's why I love Iron Jauch. It was built to solve the problem everyone knows, smelly gear that wears out too fast. Iron Jauch uses silver ion technology, infusing nano silver right into the fabric to kill 99% of odor-causing bacteria for the life of the gear. It doesn't wash out, it doesn't wear out. Iron Jauch keeps me fresh and feeling unstoppable. Iron Jauch, no stink, just performance. Shop now at ironjauch.com. That's ironjoc.com.
The Bucky Badger Student Mascot Fund was created to support the amazing student athletes who bring the best mascot in the world to life. Hey, my name is Stacy Bruner. I was Bucky Badger from 2010 to 2014. My most memorable sports moment was running out the flag at the 2013 Rose Bowl versus Stanford. Your donation will help fund new scholarships to ensure that the rich tradition of Bucky lives on. Learn more at supportbucky.org. That's supportbucky.org.
At J&K Security Solutions, protecting your home or business is more than just the priority. It's what we do. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. Since 1987, J&K Security Solutions has been committed to providing Madison and southern Wisconsin with dependable security solutions. Whether it's security, fire, or the latest automation solutions, go to jksecurity.com to see how J&K can help keep your home or business secure. Get protected now at jksecurity.com.
In the next 30 seconds, I'm going to tell you how to save money and save the planet. It's simple. Ditch your energy bill and make the switch over to Everlight Solar. While electricity prices keep rising, Everlight Solar will give you the chance to take ownership of your power while also reducing your carbon footprint. As a local company based out of Madison, they'll be there with you every step of the way as you make the switch to solar. To learn more about how you can save money and save the planet, go to everlightsolar.com.
Since 1956,
I got you,
Holman
Pablo.
Lindsay Paints has been
Okay, you got me?
painting Wisconsin for Wisconsin.
Cool.
Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
You're listening to Saturday Scramble on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Welcome back to the Saturday Scramble. John Arias, Riley Jauch with you, talking some Giannis Antetokounmpo and whether or not his time in Milwaukee has run its course. And John here is wearing a fine Wisconsin Badgers hat, and now we are joined by old Tex himself, Pablo Iglesias down in Dallas. What do we owe the pleasure, Pablo?
Oh man, it's we got to make sure that everything's going all right. Love the conversation. Love that we are starting things out here. Like I said to you, Riley, out here visiting friends. One just had a baby, so just getting to see them, getting to see a little bit of Dallas. Believe it or not, too, guys. Also, I've been here in Texas for about 24 hours. I have not forgotten the Alamo so far. I've been reminded of that, so we're doing well. But also, it's like 36 degrees out here, and I think we all know after the last couple of weeks that feels like a heat wave compared to what we've dealt with in this weather. So very happy to be out here in some nice, brisk, lighter jacket weather compared to what we've had. But enjoying the time. We're going to go out to Buc-ee's right after this call. First time ever, never experienced it. It looks like a giant Walmart when we saw it off the highway.
Have you
so
been
I'm
to a
excited.
Buc-ee's?
No, first time. It would be the first time going to a Buc-ee's. So look out.
Gotta try
Yes.
Brisket at
Okay.
Buc-ee's?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
By the way, we gotta let everybody know Pablo's wearing a cowboy hat as he speaks to us.
Yes.
We watch him on the video here. Please tell
Mr.
me,
10-gallon.
please tell me you're going to document the Buc-ee's trip, on social media.
Yeah, man, John, this is a pro's pro right here. I was just about to tease, but you guys read my mind perfectly. You guys know the brand. You know what's popping. You know how it goes. So we are going to make sure, with this being the first time, you got to document it, right? You got to get the brisket, see what souvenirs I pick up, and make sure you look out for that. Pablo.iglesias.sports on IG. You know where it's at, baby.
That we do, and we also know where Giannis is at right now, and it may not be the best place for the Bucks' future outlook. John is very confuddled, you can say, at Bucks fans that would like to move on from Giannis at this point as a superstar in his prime. Pablo, I now ask you, where do you stand on the Milwaukee Bucks and Giannis Antetokounmpo? Would you like them to see it through, or is it time to move on?
It's straightforward, guys. I said this last summer that it was time to move on. It's time to move forward. It's time to turn that page. And honestly, I want to, and this is, don't worry, if Ashton Rotman, our content manager, is listening, it is leading with a question and getting that out, because I want to ask you guys straightforward. What incentive does Giannis Antetokounmpo, if he were to stay in this very moment? I know it's Bucks fans, and Riley also got to respect the Thanasis jersey too. So well respect that.
Check out the
But let me ask,
show on Bucks Plus, the audio network.
Yes, make sure. Bucks Plus audio, also Bucks versus the World. You got to catch that. Episode's dropping. So Charlie Barons is narrating that. But want to let you just ask you guys, first and foremost. I love Giannis. I also got to cover him when I came here to Madison, when I came to Wisconsin. I covered the Bucks 2021 championship run. I know what that fan energy feels like, how happy they were that Giannis stuck around and won the championship. I could feel that elation. I could feel that connection. But let me ask you guys now, about 5 years removed from that, what incentive truly does Giannis Antetokounmpo have to stay in Milwaukee? Let me ask you guys.
Like $275 million and a chance at another, title if you can build another team around him.
But it's a chance. It's a chance. The only guarantee in that one is if you for sure stay, and the Supermax is way more through the roof. It is a chance. And what I was thinking about today, in a couple days really, is the Batman quote of the Bucks front office. Really, this isn't the Batman quote. This is getting to the Batman quote. But I really think that the Bucks front office could have become heroes. They could have genuinely become heroes, and instead, in this whole situation, how things played out since the championship, they've turned themselves into villains. They genuinely have, and that's how I feel about this. You either live long enough to watch yourself become the villain, or you die as the hero. And the reason why I see that, also want to look at how the Bulls, I was watching the last episode of The Last Dance this morning, too. That team wrote it out. And granted, it was partly spite the front office, but that team wrote it out and went down as heroes. We only got one opportunity to see the Milwaukee Bucks win a championship with the Jrue Holiday core, with Chris Middleton, and with Giannis Antetokounmpo. Unfortunately, the next season you had Chris Middleton. He goes out with an injury. But then the following season, going into the next season, you trade Jrue Holiday, a guy who was clearly the missing piece. And you want to know what he does? That next season, he goes to Boston and helps them finally get over that hump to win a championship after a few years. Jrue Holiday, it was a key. That was genuinely one of the worst moves. And I know Jim Rutledge earlier this week said on Jim, Matt, and Molly that Miles Turner is going to be one of the worst moves in franchise history. As much as great and genuinely, as sexy as it was to get Dame Lillard, that would probably be the worst move in franchise history. I kid you not, because you're playing a video game in this situation. You're just putting a roster together and hoping that it all comes together. When in all reality, it's not that Giannis Antetokounmpo needed a new video game console. The controller just wasn't working, and you just needed to charge it and plug it back in and reset the system. You didn't need to buy him a whole new video game console. You just needed to make sure that you were running with the same one and tweak it here and there.
So you mentioned, I said there's a chance, right? $275 million.
Right.
But isn't that true no matter where he goes, no matter what he does? That's all. There's only one winner every year. That's only a chance no matter where he goes.
Yeah. It's fair. There's no guarantee, but the way that I just look at this from why, again, I feel like that the Bucks front office, I call them the villains in this case, but more so that they just hurt themselves down the road. And I know you guys are talking about the first round picks. The Bucks, from what we know, they don't have full control until 2031. That's 6 years from now, I believe. 5 years, excuse me. 5 years from now. They don't have control over their first round pick for another 5 years. They own first round picks, but that's a tough thing to look at in 2031. So how are you expected to build the future? And John, trust me, I'm a huge Giannis fan. I'm not trying to push him out of town. I'm just trying to think of if this guy is dedicated to winning a championship at the end of the day. I'm not trying to say to Bucks fans that, hey, it's like, this is, what it is. But also at the same point, I think we're all at that acceptance stage. We're all at that accepting stage of now knowing that it's time to move on. It's time to move forward. And actually,
go ahead.
Yeah. No. What you got?
I was just going to say, I don't feel it's time to move on. He's 31 years old. I lost my train of thought, but basically it's more than just basketball with Giannis and the Bucks, right? Because if you don't have Giannis, you're not selling tickets. It's the franchise. It's protecting the franchise and protecting the brand. Because what I said in the first segment, I feel holds true. If you trade Giannis and you get rid of a 31-year-old in his prime that's over the next 5, 6, 7, 8 years is still going to be putting up Giannis type of numbers and still be kind of a dominant force in the NBA, you're getting rid of any future success on the court, and the fans, you're not going to have 60,000 at the Deer District. You're going to have 6 hanging out. You know what I mean? Like, it's merchandise. It's on success on the court. Getting rid of Giannis would be devastating to the franchise.
Yeah, no, 100%, and that is because what else do you have to do if you're hanging on to a guy for that reason whose clear priority and whose clear prerogative is to win a championship and to bring back another championship? If you're only doing this, John, to put meat in the seats, well, that doesn't feel like you're doing anything to win. That just feels like you're just trying to make sure that there's cash flowing. Which again, hey, maybe it helps out for the Supermax, but. To do a little mini segment here too, real quick, boys. We got some reading time with Pablo. So like we did, I think was this 2 weeks ago, what we did last week, to continue from what
we did some reading Rainbow.
Oh,
got to make sure.
Like we were just listening to a story. I like this. You put the
glasses
on,
exactly.
Too. All right, what do we got?
Yeah, no, we got to make sure the glasses are good to go, the reading specs. So this is a quote that stuck out to me from 11 Rings, the Phil Jackson book that I'm reading. In the beginner's mind, there are many possibilities, and in the expert's mind, there are a few. So my interpretation from that is based off of how the Bucks front office treating themselves in the beginner's mindset, just trying to do everything that they can when realizing that there's only a few roles, there's only a few options. So I think even though the Bucks tried to make themselves heroes, they tried to, in a way, They tried to do what was right for Giannis and try to build as much as they could. They ended up just falling short. And not only the Drew Holiday trade, but you hire Adrian Griffin and you're high on this guy and you're leading the Eastern Conference and then you fire him mid-season. And I understand, I'm not in the locker room. I don't know what everything is like in there for these guys. But now when you see that if Jay Crowder was coming out and Doc Rivers had said too, maybe he's just talking about that because of playing time. It is what it is. But you know what? If these guys are just trying to get some good vibes going on, and it was a big questionable move. And I remember a conversation I overheard because I was there when John Horst was talking about after they fired Adrian Griffin and what the next steps were, denouncing anything. It's like Doc Rivers rumors. And then Friday night, Doc Rivers was hired. Then I cover that Saturday morning. And everything just felt super weird. But I remember in between, overheard a conversation to keep it clean, so that way Owen doesn't have to get the dump button ready. Fill in if the Bucks if this does not work out for the Bucks with hiring Doc Rivers, they will look like fill in the blank clowns. So take that for what it's worth. This was a trusted colleague of mine. And I thought too, because again, like you said, John, with the Dame Lillard trade earlier, that was awesome. It was great, but there's no guarantee, similar to this situation too. There's no guarantee that if Giannis goes to a bigger market, a bigger city, if you will, that he is going to win a championship. But how can you also, on the other side, guarantee that Doc Rivers will for sure be this home run hire mid-season? You take this on, you got to rebuild the roster. You got to understand how to get this whole team flowing in a fast period. I think that's the other side of it too. And how the Bucks ended up hurting themselves in that one too. They kind of shot themselves in the foot. There's no other way to look at it.
Riley Jauch, John Arias, this is the Saturday Scramble. We are joined by Pablo Iglesias, my usual co-host, usually the driver. Usually I'm the one in the reactor chair. Thankfully, we have John with us today. Pablo, I'll admit, I kind of got lost in the sauce of your answer there. So I want to bring up this question that Jason Pavelski poses, or I'm going to take his statement and pose it in the form of a question to you guys from the YouTube chat. The fans and people who completely exonerate Giannis and Chris Middleton from this situation, I feel they are completely devoid of reality. Giannis was a part of all this. He contributed.
Yeah.
He wanted Budenholzer gone. He wanted Adrian Griffin hired. He wanted Damian Lillard. He wanted Doc Rivers. So how do you guys, I guess, John, more for you since you want Giannis to stay, how do you defend that? Right now the Bucks are 15-15 with Giannis in the lineup, awful with him out, and that's mostly due to personnel decisions that he signed off on.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's. By the way, I did not when Doc Rivers is. I was like, what are we doing?
I think everyone, as universally celebrated as the Dame signing and trade was, the Doc hiring was universally hated, and everyone knew this was coming.
But, I mean, listen, a lot of this is 2020. Like, we look back and we saw what happened with Dame and the Bucks, and we're like, well, that didn't work. Why would you want? But at the time, like, who wouldn't want that? You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't, at the time, that seemed like a really awesome idea. So, yeah, granted, Giannis has wanted certain things to go in the direction and it hasn't worked out. But I'll tell you what, just because things haven't worked out doesn't mean they won't work out in the future. And it just gets back to my main point. Like, everything that he said on the YouTube channel makes sense. And it's true. But at the same time, that doesn't mean that you just trade the guy. Does that, just because he wanted some things that didn't work out, then all of a sudden that means, well, then obviously he has to go at his prime. Now, obviously we don't need him on the team then in his prime.
Well, then maybe they should stop listening to him.
Maybe. Maybe they should listen. You know, remember when Aaron Rodgers wanted input?
I don't know if that's going to help. I think that might chase him out. If anything, if you stop listening to your superstar,
well, you can take input and you can listen and then be like, we're going to go a different direction. Let's see how
and that's how
look at the history.
By the way, I think that's how it should be. Like, remember when Aaron Rodgers had everyone was like, don't give Aaron Rodgers. Like, listen to Aaron Rodgers. Listen to Giannis. That doesn't mean that everything that Giannis or Aaron Rodgers says, then you go, yes, sir, let's go sign who. You know, it doesn't mean that you just automatically drop everything and do it for him. But I think it's important still to listen to your superstars and what they feel could benefit the team. But like you said, Riley, that doesn't mean that you just go do it all the time. You still have to be financially responsible, or you still have to, have your own direction as a front office. Listen, I guess my bottom line is, if you get rid of Giannis, get ready for the next 2 decades plus to be irrelevant. And if that's what we want, then go ahead and get rid of Giannis. Now, also, real quick, if Giannis comes out, like I said, today and says, guys, it's done. I'm out. I don't want to be here. That, to me, is a different story. If Giannis comes out and says that specifically, I want to be traded, I am done, then I don't think you really have any other choice, and it'd be a really sad day, and you're going to go down as irrelevant for the next 20 years. And I know this. I know keeping Giannis doesn't mean that you're going to win 5 titles and be the best in the NBA over the next 5 years, but you're not going to be without him. Like at least it gives you a shot, and that's all I'm here for. Like imagine why would you when Aaron Rodgers was 31 years old in I got his stats up here. 2014.
Mm-hmm.
And there was like some drama around why would you want to get rid of the best quarterback? Why would you want to get rid of one of the best players in the league? Just because it's time? Who says it's time? We have no idea what tomorrow brings. We have no idea what next season brings. Maybe something works next season and you're relevant for the next 5 years.
But John, do you really believe? And again, this is me being a big proponent of Giannis. This is me being a guy who is excited about Giannis. I'm just looking at this roster here. Do you really believe that Cole Anthony, AJ Green,
no, I don't.
Andre Jackson Jr., Kyle Kuzma, maybe Ryan Rollins, this roster,
no,
Bobby Portis, who's aging as a guy who covered Bobby coming up.
I don't.
That's my point. There is again the lack of control more so that they have with the first round picks. They can't really build up this future. What assets do they have to trade to help build up the roster, to help bulk up the foundation of this roster for the Bucks?
But
that's the tough side that I see.
I agree, and I don't think that roster is NBA championship material.
They're not even playoff material right now.
Right,
That's the tough side.
No, you're right, and I don't think they are. But that roster, what you just said, that's your next 2 decades. That's it. That's the type of roster you're going to have. So you either are okay with having what you just said as, all right, let's see what these guys can do, or you throw Giannis in there and you see what these guys can do. And I 10 out of 10 times would love to see what Giannis can do with those guys. And I don't think it's, like you said, right now it's not a playoff roster, and I don't like the roster around Giannis. But that's the roster. What you just said, that's what Sports Talk is going to be talking about the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years.
No, we're just not going to be talking Bucks.
Oh, you're right. Absolutely right.
We're going to be moving on to Jonathan Gannon and the Green Bay Packers. And
yeah,
Super Bowl titles coming. So, Pablo, before we let you go here, your final rebuttal to John and why the Bucks should move on.
I think genuinely it is time to move on, more so because you can just sense it's not even frustration. I think it truly is just, it feels like based off the rhetoric. And I do, even though I kind of said too, like the Bucks front office eventually, accidentally more so, turned themselves into villains and how they, how this whole saga played out, is that I think what Giannis has genuinely done for the city, again, talking to fans when they won the championship, seeing that what he did to come back and play into the finals, and just the joy and the elation and trying to capture that all again. That was a magical season. But then also to the other side, John, is that the Bucks are 3-13 without Giannis this season, so 16 games, but right now they are 15-15. So even with Giannis on the roster, they're a 500 team. So it's just it's scary to look at that. And by no means, I don't think anybody, like you said, is proclaiming that this is an NBA championship roster. I don't think that that's the case. But why I just feel like it's time, it's you can sense it from both sides, right? You can sense that that even from the rhetoric where Giannis, I believe it said about a week and a half ago, that we're not playing team basketball, essentially. I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but basically like not calling guys out specifically by name, because that's never really been Giannis's MO. That hasn't. And he is, you can sense the frustration, but you can also sense that he is trying. But what else can he really give? Hence the question that I know was a lot fiery to start off, to start things off here. But it is truly, what other incentive does Giannis have? If his goal is to win an NBA championship, then for me, it doesn't feel like that there's an incentive there, because the Bucks just unfortunately do not have the assets. I don't know if they have the structure. And truly, it just does feel like that John Horse, hey, he gave it a big old swing, but it was a big old miss, unfortunately. And sometimes, yeah, you want to go down swinging, but you also need to know that the risk on the other side is that ball's either going to go out of the ballpark or you are going to go back to the bench. And after you took a huge whiff. But those are my 2 cents there, and why I just feel like it's time. He's done what he could for the city. He's done what he could for the franchise. And the franchise has done everything that they can for him. But I do feel like that maybe, just maybe, they overexhausted it and moved too rash. from moving away from the core that they had that won the championship. And if you gave that a chance, it's just a very unfortunate what if. But I do have one thing before you guys get to break. John, there's an event going on. I want to put you on the spot. There's an event going on at North and South Seafood and Smokehouse in Verona on Tuesday. You mind giving us a little bit of a plug as we head into break?
Yeah, so any Badgers fans or volleyball fans can head out to North and South in Verona on Tuesday night at 7 p.m. We're going to have a Q&A with head coach Kelly Sheffield, kind of recapping the season and looking forward to 2026. We'll also be joined by Jayla August, new transfer from Florida. A middle blocker will be there. Charlie Furbringer, the Badgers All-Big Ten setter, will be there, and Wisconsin's libero Kristen Simon will also be there. Just kind of answering fan questions, a little meet and greet. Get it? Meet and greet.
Hey,
yeah.
nice.
North and South. So that starts at 7 p.m. on Tuesday night. We'd love to have you out there just to celebrate the season and look forward to 2026.
Fantastic. Thank you, John, and thank you, Pablo, for carving time out of your busy Saturday down in Dallas to make some time for us. Enjoy Buc-ee's, enjoy visiting your friend, enjoy the rodeo tomorrow. Hope you have a fantastic trip. Thank you.
Hey, appreciate it, boys. Peace.
That was Pablo Iglesias, and this is the Saturday Scramble. We'll be back after this. Pablo said something about rebuilding that I want to discuss. Coming up next, what's the best way for the Bucks to do that moving forward? Don't go anywhere. This is the Saturday Scramble.
Stay tuned. Saturday Scramble continues after this on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
Here's to a Wisconsin winter you will always remember. To playing outdoors in a winter wonderland. Here's to cozying up around the fire and holding someone close. And to staying downtown, where the food scene makes your heart sing. And to celebrating moments frozen in time. Here's to those who Wisconsin. Plan your winter getaway at travelwisconsin.com. Sponsored by Travel Wisconsin.
It is the 25th anniversary of Bowlin' for Colons on Sunday, March 1st. Help us strike out colon cancer at UW Carbone Cancer Center. Come roll with us and form a team of 4 to 5. Choose from 9 bowling centers in the Madison area. Enjoy 3 games of bowling, shoe rental, and a cool anniversary t-shirt. Spare us your excuses. Hurry up. Lanes are filling quickly. Google Bowlin' for Colons 2026 to register your team now. Let's strike out cancer with Bowlin' for Colon 2026.
When a heart stops, the clock starts. You are the first responder until help arrives. In that moment, 4 minutes equals brain damage. 6 minutes equals too late in an emergency. The first responder is you. We need you. Will you be ready? Learn CPR. Visit heart.org/nation. That's heart.org/nation.
I worried that I couldn't work a full-time job and still have time for college. But I'm so glad I didn't let that stop me. At Madison College, I found my stride. My classes are flexible and hands-on, and I walk on campus feeling inspired. My advice to others? Make your dreams a reality. There's more to your story at Madison College.
Visit madisoncollege.edu to get started.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
You're listening to Saturday Scramble on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
How should the Bucks go about rebuilding, either with Giannis or without, if they decide to move on? This is the Saturday Scramble. John Arias, Riley Jauch here. We were just joined by our good buddy, Pablo Iglesias from Dallas, Texas, and Wisco Greaves in the YouTube chat. He's been on one today. He's been giving us some great content, some great fuel. He asks, have you seen OKC and how they rebuilt their team and are still sitting on draft capital? I think that's a great example for the let's move on from Giannis argument, because the current iteration of the Thunder, that would not have been possible if they didn't move on from Paul George and got a return of 5 draft picks plus Danilo, how do you pronounce his name? Danilo Gallinari and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the reigning MVP of the NBA.
I get it. There are success stories. Yep. And when we were talking to Pablo, for whatever, I don't know what we were talking about, I thought, okay, well, OKC has been able to move on from players and still do pretty well. So, yeah, I mean, that's a great example. And that is a possibility. Listen, when you trade Giannis, there are many possibilities. The one that I am saying is the most likely is that you're irrelevant. Of course, there's the opportunity there if you trade Giannis that you get a lot of draft picks, you make the right moves, and all of a sudden in 2, 3, 4, 5 years or whatever, you've got a really elite team. That's a possibility. It really is. So I don't want to say that isn't, but I just think the more likely scenario, it's not like every team that gets rid of a superstar turns into Oklahoma City. But, I mean, it's a great example. Don't get me wrong.
But there might be more examples of teams trying to acquire superstars and it not working out than teams trading superstars.
Probably, yeah. I mean, you see it all the time. Like I said, there's only one team that can hoist the trophy at the end, so there's going to be unsuccessful moves in almost every other franchise. So, yes, Grant, what's his name on the YouTube?
Wisco Greaves.
It's a great point, Wisco Greaves. I just think it's more likely than not that it's not going to happen. Because for every OKC, I'd have to sit down and start looking at, through transactions or whatever, but I could come up with 2 or 3 or 4 teams that are still nothing. And especially like in Milwaukee. I know we're in an era where you can be a superstar in a little city. It's not like 20 years ago where you had to be in LA, you had to be in New York, you had to be in because endorsements. Listen, we've got social media. We are interconnected. You can be a superstar and be an influence, and companies want to be behind you in any city. But I'll tell you what, it's still pretty hard, I think, to get people to come to Milwaukee when it's minus 29 degrees wind chill in January, when they could be in another spot in the NBA. So OKC is a great example. I'll give you that.
Also a small market.
Also a small market. I'll give you that's true. Also a small market. I'll give you that. I just think it's more likely than not that you are set in for pre-Giannis and not even caring about the Bucks if you get rid of him. I would rather go all in with one of the best players in the NBA and see if you can do it one more time.
844-770-3776, the Carbless Talking text line your way into the show. Feel free to chime in on the ESPN Madison YouTube chat as well. Before we wrap up the 10 o'clock hour, coming up next, we threw out a poll question this morning. Our great producer, Owen Dimple, has the Giannis era in Milwaukee run its course? Before we head to break, John, I want your thoughts on these poll results.
Okay, let's hear it.
Yes, the Giannis era has run its course. 65.5%. No, 34.5%. What do you make of those numbers?
I think a lot of times in these poll questions, we are in the moment. You have a losing streak in football, and are the Packers going to make the playoffs? No, 73%. Well, that's because the rest of the season hasn't played out. I think right now that's what I'm seeing. If I wanted to analyze the poll question, has the Giannis era in Milwaukee run its course? 66%. It feels that way.
Yeah.
In the moment, it feels that way. Don't get me wrong. I mean, this is the, of all the time that Giannis has been here, this is the most red alert, like something's going to go down. So I understand why people would feel that way. Totally understand it.
It's the first time the Bucks are actually listening to trade offers, Owen.
So, John, the biggest argument you've made is that you give Giannis away in a trade to another team. You're going to go back to the pre-Giannis days where, it's just not as fun to watch. You're looking at 10 to 20 wins a year. Don't you feel like at some point that's what's going to be Milwaukee Bucks basketball after Giannis, whether you just let him walk or you trade him?
Yeah, I do.
So why delay the inevitable?
Why delay the inevitable? Because you don't need to. I mean, you don't need to be 10 to 20 wins right now. If you want to, then go ahead and trade Giannis and try to rebuild. And I hope that the Bucks are successful because you have a 31-year-old that's still relevant in the league. Like that, and you have a superstar. You don't get superstars. You don't draft Giannis's every other year. Like that's a once in a 30, 40 year type of draft pick. So I guess my answer would be because you still have Giannis. Like you're trying to fight off old age. You're trying to fight off irrelevancy.
Father time.
For as long as you possibly can. And the second you stop fighting, you get really old and you lose all your function and you pass away.
Riley, I want to hear your thoughts.
I will say that I am definitely not done with Giannis like Molly Brown is. I'm wearing a Thanasis Antetokounmpo jersey right now. I love the Antetokounmpos, and I love everything they have done for Milwaukee. And I love that the Bucks have done everything they possibly could to win not just one, but multiple championships with Giannis and extend his prime as much as possible. But I guess for me, I'm content with the championship. He got us a championship. I was in the Deer District for Game 6.
That's awesome.
It was oh my gosh, that was like a life-altering experience.
I'm jealous.
That was so cool.
I wish I was there.
Just being around tens of thousands of other rabid Bucks fans. That was like an event in the state of Wisconsin. I knew people from like La Crosse and Eau Claire coming down to Milwaukee.
I kick myself
for Game 6
all the time for not going there. I wanted to go there so bad.
And I will always have that memory. So if Giannis wants to move on and win a championship elsewhere, if he's frustrated with the organization, I am okay with him moving on. As long as I would rather him move on now and the Bucks fade back into irrelevancy because I had that memory, than him hang on and the Bucks hang on because neither of them wants to feel like the bad guy in this situation, and then the relationship sours and it just gets unnecessarily weird and terse when it's all said and done. I don't want that to sour. So I'm not done with him, but if he wants to move on and win another championship, I am grateful for what he has done, and I am content.
I echo a lot of that. I'm very happy that he delivered a championship to the city. Well,
it's so hard to do that in Milwaukee.
It is. It really is. We haven't seen that with the Brewers
or basketball, and he did it. And he's a legend. He will always be a legend. So I'm happy. I love Giannis, and I want him to succeed. If that's here, great. He's not succeeding here right now. So if he's ready to move on, I'm ready to say goodbye.
Banners hang forever, and he brought us one. And I'm happy that I was a fan of the team that he played for, but like you, I would be okay if we traded him. It would be a sad day, but
it sounds so weird to me, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You guys are talking about as if like it's all done and it was
feels
gravy
that
and it
way,
was.
though.
I know it feels
feels
that
that
way
way.
now. Just breathe. Let the moment breathe. If in 3 or 4 years it sours even more, let's talk in 3 or 4 years, and maybe while he's 35, you can still get something and you can start this rebuild. I talking about it in the past when you still have elite talent to me is just so frustrating. I don't know what the word is. It's just like, well, that was great. Good job. Move on at 31 years old and still dominate the league. We're good. Like, what are we doing?
Well, I don't know if the Bucks can do anything else at this point.
I understand that perspective, too.
That's where I'm coming from.
I understand that perspective, too.
They've tried. I feel like they've tried everything, and maybe they haven't. Maybe Horst has one more trick up his sleeve, something in his back pocket he's going to whip out, and that would be phenomenal. If he can somehow pull a rabbit out of the hat, keep Giannis, and win another championship, I will be elated.
Yeah.
I just don't see that happening at all. So I want Giannis to succeed, and I want him to leave amicably.
And I understand you don't see that happening at all, and all I'm saying is none of us can predict the future. And if you want to win a title, then you probably need this guy. And so I'm not guaranteeing titles. That would be ridiculous. But in 2, 3, 4, 5 years, maybe he stays an entire career. That's what I'm crossing my fingers for. And you never do it again. then I'll look back and I'll remember the title and I'll be like, that was awesome. But it's hard for me to be like, that was great, man. That was awesome, man. You were great. I love their title 4 or 5 years ago, whatever it is now.
Yep.
But no, I don't want one of the best players in the league.
Amazing.
That is how I feel right now, how hopefully we will feel looking back at the Giannis legacy. I think that's a great place to put a bow on this conversation. We can't predict the future, but I can predict what's coming up in the next few segments. We will start the 11 o'clock hour with some Packers discussion. Are the Packers legitimate Super Bowl contenders next season? We will discuss, but first, to wrap up the 10 o'clock hour, John Arias, the play-by-play voice of a much-improved Wisconsin women's basketball team, will give us his reasons why we should pay attention to Wisconsin women's basketball down the home stretch. Don't go anywhere. This is the Saturday Scramble.
Stay tuned. Saturday Scramble continues after this on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Pro volleyball lives in Madison. Love Madison, Wisconsin's professional women's volleyball team brings premier talent, elite competition, and non-stop intensity to every match. Featuring world-class athletes and high-energy action from start to finish, this is volleyball at the highest level. See elite professional sports right here in Madison. Purchase tickets today at lovbmad.com/tickets. That's lovbmad.com/tickets.
Experience the future of recovery at Carbon World Health. They've brought Escape Robotic Massage to Madison, the world's first AI-powered, fully automated therapeutic massage that's customized to your body every time. Jim, Matt, and Molly will be live at Carbon World Health this Friday, and you can join us. Every person that stops by Carbon between 4 p.m. and 6 p.m. on Friday gets a voucher for a free 30-minute AI massage at Carbon World Health. So stop by this Friday from 4 until 6. Carbon World Health, your body optimized.
All day, every day, the Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
At J&K Security Solutions, protecting your home or business is more than just a priority. It's what we do. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. Since 1987, J&K Security Solutions has been committed to providing Madison and southern Wisconsin with dependable security solutions. Whether it's security, fire, or the latest automation solutions, go to jksecurity.com to see how J&K can help keep your home or business secure. Get protected now at jksecurity.com.
In the next 30 seconds, I'm going to tell you how to save money and save the planet. It's simple. Ditch your energy bill and make the switch over to Everlight Solar. While electricity prices keep rising, Everlight Solar will give you the chance to take ownership of your power while also reducing your carbon footprint. As a local company based out of Madison, they'll be there with you every step of the way as you make the switch to solar. To learn more about how you can save money and save the planet, go to everlightsolar.com.
You're listening to Saturday Scramble on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
The best few minutes of your Saturday coming up shortly. John Arias, Riley Jauch here with you. This is the Saturday Scramble on ESPN Madison, the ESPN Wisconsin app, 100.5 ESPN. And now, without further ado, it's time to let the play-by-play voice, the esteemed play-by-play voice of Wisconsin women's basketball, tell us why, John, why should we watch Wisconsin women's basketball down the stretch?
Well, I think you should watch Wisconsin women's basketball because this is the best team that I've been able to broadcast since I started doing this in the 2012-2013 season. By far, this team is exciting. This is a team, if you watch them at the Kohl Center, which, by the way, there's 4 more home games left, I highly recommend. If you're a Badgers fan and you love going to football games and men's basketball games and hockey games and volleyball games, please go out to the Kohl Center and watch one of these 4 remaining games for this Badgers team. They're 11-1 at home. This team is 13-9 overall, 5-6. You may go, okay, well, that's a 500. That's good.
Yeah, it's okay.
This team is on the verge of potentially doing something very special this season. and that's make the NCAA tournament. Now, am I saying they're going to? I don't know. But there are some wins out there on the schedule, including next Wednesday at the Kohl Center against an Indiana team that hasn't won a Big Ten game yet. With that win, you can get to 6-6 in the conference and 14-9 overall. I'm telling you, this is a fun team. They don't have the one player last year, Sarah Williams. She was the most dominant player on the team. They have more pieces, more players that can score. And just go out and support this team and see what happens. That's what I'm saying. Like, see what happens, because they're 11-1 at home. They need these home wins. There's some winnable games on the schedule still. You got a stretch against Washington, Illinois, and Minnesota. Can you go 2-1 in that? Can you just pick up one? We're not asking to, finish 10-8 in the Big Ten or something like that. I don't know if that's going to happen with this year's team with 5-6 right now. Mm-hmm. But if you start stacking on a couple wins here or there, they already have 2 top 25 wins, the most they've had in a decade plus. I'm not sure the stat off the top of my head.
Do you know when was the last time they made the NCAA tournament?
2009, 2010.
Wow.
So it's been a while.
Almost 2 decades,
now,
over 15 years.
But I highly encourage you to come out and support this team. They're a lot of fun to watch, especially at home when they're winning games. And this could be something special. This could be something special this year. Now, if they don't make the NCAA tournament, that's fine. I think the WBIT is right there for them, which means more postseason basketball. First postseason since the WNIT a couple of seasons ago, but BIT is better than NIT in the women's game. So this is just a fun team. And what Robin Pinchton has been able to do in her first season and get this we over me mentality has been awesome. It's affordable. It's fun. Go support women's basketball, please. This is a season. This could be the start of something really special in Madison. And it's been so much fun to watch the team this year. It's been so much fun to see them win games. And they've let some games get away. This could be a 16-win team at this point if you get a couple of bounces of the basketball. I mean, this could be a team that has 7 Big Ten wins already. It's not, and they are what they are, but they're a really fun team to watch.
John Arias imploring
Wednesday.
you. Wednesday,
February 4th.
6:30, February 4th at the Kohl Center. Go watch your Wisconsin women's basketball team take on the Indiana Hoosiers as they look to make their first NCAA tournament berth since 2010. Thank you very much for sharing and helping us see the light on Wisconsin women's basketball. I love Coach Pinchton. She has been awesome talking to her, and I'm very excited to see what happens.
And you know what's cool, too? Like, they don't get – I don't know if you guys know this. Like, now time for your starting lineup. They don't do that. They don't say, at guard, blah, blah. They say, your Wisconsin Badgers, and they huddle up and they go to center court because it's we over me. It's the front of the jersey. It's not the back of the jersey. And I love that mentality. We don't need to be recognized individually. We are one unit, and that's how we're going to win.
It's a great mentality to have, and we are one unit on the Saturday Scramble. John Arias, Owen Dimple behind the glass, Riley Jauch. This is the Saturday Scramble. Don't go anywhere. Packers talk. Should we change our expectations for the Green Bay Packers moving into 2026 and beyond? I don't think so. Don't go anywhere. This is the Saturday Scramble, 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Wisconsin app.
If you owe back taxes, listen carefully to rule number 1. Never go up against the IRS alone. They're cracking down, freezing bank accounts, garnishing paychecks, canceling passports. Even your home or business could be at risk. But here's what they don't tell you. The IRS has powerful tax relief programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. That's why smart people call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. Nobody knows these programs like the experts at Optima. Their team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $2 billion in tax debt for people just like you. The IRS is not stopping, so don't wait. And don't take them on alone. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima today for a free consultation.
Call 800-517-9383. That's 800-517-9383. 800-517-9383.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
One call, that's all. It's not just a slogan, but a way of life at Gruber Law Offices. If you've been injured, call our team today. We've represented tens of thousands of injured Wisconsinites for well over 30 years. Trust Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
It's all about the green and gold and nonsense on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
What is the main ingredient to pesto?
Dude, man.
Wow, this is bad.
Pass.
What country is home to the city of Vienna?
Seriously?
Jeez.
Switzerland?
Kyle, Brust, and Nortman. Presented by Bud Light, the official beer of the NFL. Weekdays from 2 till 4 on 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
Hey Madison, it's Rich Eisen. Join me for the Rich Eisen Show, weekdays noon to 2, right here on 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison, a good Karma Brands radio station.
It's time to think outside the pocket on Saturday Scramble.
Shut your mouth, Pablo. This is the ugliest thing I have ever worn.
Put some respect to the name. What am I doing? Trying to put water onto this fire. I'm going to throw gasoline into this.
On 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Cliffhanger, hanging from a cliff.
And that's why they call him Cliffhanger.
Yes.
Alongside Riley Jauch, here's Pablo Iglesias.
It is not Pablo Iglesias. It is Riley Jauch alongside our good friend John Arias, Owen Dimple behind the glass on today's edition, the January 31st edition of Saturday Scramble. Have your expectations changed for the Green Bay Packers, given the extension of Matt LaFleur, the hiring of Jonathan Gannon, quarterbacks coach Sean Mannion being poached, Jeff Hafley leaving? Personally, they haven't for me. This is Titletown. I want the Packers to compete for a Super Bowl, and I think they are still built to compete and win a Super Bowl this coming year and beyond.
I get it. I totally get it. I think, first of all, you got to establish, are most fans Super Bowl or bust still? Like, is that still your expectation? Or what is your expectation? So
maybe we should pull that. Owen, could you throw that poll in the YouTube chat? Are you still Super Bowl or bust for the Green Bay Packers? I'd actually be very curious to see where fans stand.
Yeah, right. So, like, if you go into are your expectations still there for the Green Bay Packers? Well, first of all, I want to know what your expectations are. And if they are Super Bowl expectations, should you still have those? Listen, the NFL a few years ago expanded the playoffs, right? And they let in an extra team. And if you look at where the Green Bay Packers and how they've been able to make the playoffs the last few years, or at least some of those years, it's because of the extra playoff spot, right? So would this conversation sound differently if it never happened? And I understand, well, you're living in a what-if world, John. Yeah, I get it. That is a what-if world for sure.
Yes,
but
definitely.
But it is also to illustrate, like, who wins Super Bowls? How many games did the Patriots win this season? How many games did the Seahawks win this season? Did they sneak into the playoffs several of the past 4 seasons? And they've won 14 games is the answer.
Yes.
So, like, I don't know if Super Bowl is the expectation. Like, listen, to be clear here, I'm not a Packers fan.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a Vikings fan. And maybe some of
well,
that.
Super Bowl or bust hasn't been the expectation
I know. So
for the
maybe
Vikings in a while.
Exactly. Maybe you're asking the wrong guy here, because I don't think I go into any seasons expecting a Super Bowl. So I may be the wrong person to ask. But I don't know if this is a Super Bowl team. Now, listen, every team has injuries, and this guy got injured, and we missed him in this game. And if we had won that game, and I know you can make those points. I don't want to use the word excuses, but maybe I'll just throw excuses out there. I know you can make those excuses for the Packers and say, well, listen, Micah Parsons, that's a legit point. I just don't know if Super Bowl should be the expectation right now. Do you think Jordan Love is a Super Bowl caliber? We're going to win you the Super Bowl?
100%. Drake May is in the Super Bowl this year.
Can you?
Sam Darnold's in the Super Bowl this year.
So what is Love's playoff record?
I think Jordan Love is a better quarterback than both Sam Darnold and Drake May.
I could listen. I get it. I understand that, but what is the record with Love at quarterback in the playoffs?
I believe he is now 1-3.
1-3.
Beat the Cowboys, lost to the Niners, lost to the Eagles, lost to the Bears.
Okay. That needs to be better, right?
I don't disagree.
I mean, that needs to be better. And if you were this elite talent, and once again, I get it, Sam Darnold wasn't like he was the year before with Minnesota, because that was kind of like an elite performance.
Josh Allen's an elite talent. You can't argue that. And he's hasn't made the Super Bowl in 8 tries now.
Mm-hmm.
So
what? But with the 1-3, with my thought process here of, if it wasn't for this extra playoff spot, would you be even? Would more of the expectation be just making the playoffs? You know what I mean? Like
Well, I don't think Matt LaFleur is still the head coach.
Yes, that's true.
If they miss the playoffs for 3 consecutive seasons.
Yeah, Matt LaFleur is probably the head coach still because the NFL decided to expand and get more money and expand the playoffs. That's probably what saved Matt LaFleur.
Yes, but
didn't everybody want Matt LaFleur gone?
A lot of people did.
A lot of people did. So how are your
have
expectations still Super Bowl if the majority of the fans didn't even want the coach to be around?
Because I still believe that he couldn't win a Super. I don't think we've seen the ceiling of Jordan Love or Matt LaFleur yet.
I'll give you
as a head coach and quarterback combination.
I'll give you that.
But winning gambler in the YouTube chat, he commented this a while ago. I was still talking Giannis. Packers have never been serious Super Bowl contenders under a wet noodle like LaFleur.
And listen, I don't know if I'd label him a wet noodle, but I would also say, yeah, I don't know if Super Bowl should be at the forefront of your expectations for the upcoming season. I would like to just think, like, can you win the division? Can you do more than just sneak into the playoffs? And if you do that, okay, well, let's see how the matchups work. But to have the kind of the mindset right now in this juncture of, a lot of fans didn't even want the coach to come back, and now LaFleur is back. Jordan Love is 1-3 in the playoffs. To then think that, like, oh, okay, well, yeah, of course we got to make the Super Bowl this season. I think that comes with, like you said, this is Titletown. I think that comes with this kind of fandom that it's, Super Bowl or bust. I think that's where that comes from. And me being a Vikings fan, I don't have that because I haven't had the luxury of that. And so I think I come into this conversation with a little bit more of a nuanced or balanced thought process on what expectations can be every year in the NFL.
Owen, you're a Packers fan. Where do you stand?
Yeah, I fully agree with you, John, that they need to win a division first. Because now all 3 other NFC North teams have won the NFC North more recently than the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah,
which
Packers haven't won in 4 years.
When you look at over the last decade or two, if you would have told us that as Packer fans, we'd be like, what? You kidding me? No way. No way we're the team that has the longest drought of the NFC North. We own the North. Do we now? I mean, it's the facts. But
okay, so let's say this. Then are you content if the Packers win the NFC North and lose in the divisional, or even they make the NFC Championship game? Are you content with that season next year then?
Just for next year?
Yes.
I would be, because that's an improvement. You don't need to go all out for the Super Bowl next year. Matt LaFleur is not coaching on his last year of his deal next year. You can go after the Super Bowl in 2027, 2028, when now you see Parsons deals Parson and Jordan Love's deals kind of towards the end. Then you can make that Super Bowl push. But if they go to the NFC Championship next year and win the NFC North, I'll be very happy with that. I would be.
I think what you're saying makes sense, Owen. It's, can you get the division? Mm-hmm. And then in this scenario, if you make the NFC Championship game, I think you'd probably take that right now. The problem with expectations is come next season when you've wrapped up the division and the playoffs are on the horizon, then your expectations change.
What?
Yeah, they go way up. And then when you get to the NFC Championship game and you've won the division and you're right there on the cusp of making the Super Bowl, your expectations change. So in the moment now, to me, that seems like the next step. Win the division. Can you win the division? Can you do better than just sneaking into the final playoff spot? Can you do better than that? Can you win some games with Jordan Love in the playoffs? That to me sounds like a realistic type of let's see what happens. But the problem is once you get to the point that you just described, you're going to be disappointed. You're going to be like, oh, I was right
and
there.
Then the narrative is going to be, oh, Matt LaFleur can't get over the hump. He still can't do it.
Yeah,
He was here with Aaron Rodgers a couple times. Look what happened. And then we're back where we started. 844-770-3776. Carbless Talk and Text line your way into the show. Feel free to chime in on the YouTube chat as well. Currently, our YouTube poll on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel, only a few votes in, but agreeing more so with you guys, 67% saying no, they're not Super Bowl or bust for the Packers. Only 33% agreeing with me that they are.
I agree with that. I mean, I like that. I think that's where the number should be. Just because of recent lack of success. I think it's hard. Listen, that doesn't mean the next year they won't make the Super Bowl. Who knows? You never know in these things. But I would agree with that, with those polling numbers.
But I feel like for the Packers, when you have Micah Parsons, I understand, it doesn't have to be next year. But you have a 3-year window here where you could be, dynasty feels like too strong of a word, but this is your chance. Like, this is your window. You have Matt LaFleur's been here for 7. I think this will be his 8th season coming up. Jordan Love, this will be, I think, his 7th season in the NFL coming up. Something along those lines, or 8th. I can't remember exact. No, he was drafted in 2020, so 6th, 7th year?
It'll be his 7th.
7th year, okay. So this will be his 7th year. You have Micah Parsons in his prime, a devastator on the defensive end. Do they need to shore up some areas in the secondary, in the linebacking core? Probably, yes. But now is your chance. We're talking with Giannis. You need superstars to win. That gives you the best chance to win. Now is their best chance to win. So if you're not going to expect Super Bowls and go to Super Bowls now, when are you going to?
And the hard thing, too, is last year, they beat the Bears in Week 14 at Lambeau. They're 9-3. They just won their 4th game in a row. I really thought they were contenders. I wasn't saying they were Super Bowl favorites, but they were true contenders in the NFC. And then you get to that Denver game the next week. They were up 23-14.
They were beating the tar out of the Broncos, who should have. If Bo Nix doesn't get hurt, they're probably in the Super Bowl right now.
Maybe.
Yeah. Maybe, yeah.
He's also playing the what-if game, but
yeah. Right. Well, I love to play the what-if game. Well, let me break it. Can I compare the Bucks and the Packers and expectations?
Yes.
We are ready to move on from Giannis after not count. Well, if you want to count this year, it's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years since the championship, right? They've won 58, 48, 49, 48, and now 18 games. Okay. That's been the success of the Bucks, and we're like, it's done. Let's blow it up. The quarterback record of Jordan Love, the last as a starter, 9-8, 9-6, 9-5-1. That's 3 years. So why are we giving up after counting this as the 5th year of the Bucks, but after 3 years of just winning 9 games as your starting quarterback, are we now believing that, oh, well, that'll change?
I think the circumstances just feel so different, though. It seems like the Bucks don't have a future. They've tried. They've pushed all their chips into the middle of the table, and nothing's worked, and it seems to be on the decline. Whereas the Packers, it still feels like they haven't fully hit their stride under Matt LaFleur and Jordan Love. It feels like there's still a lot of room to ascend. And Brian Gutekunst, to his credit, went and dealt and got Micah Parsons to compete now and to get a game changer. Like, they're still putting the chips in. Like, that's the equivalent. Micah feels like the equivalent of the Dame trade. So whether or not it works still remains to be seen, but it feels like we're at that step of, like, the Giannis saga to continue that comparison. It doesn't feel like we're at the same point yet.
I get it. And I don't – listen, the Packers may win the Super Bowl next year, but I understand, and that's a really good point. It's just that I don't understand why the expectation is Super Bowl with the team and a quarterback that's won – is the quarterback, specifically Love, 9-9-9 in his 3 years as a starter, why that record would signify, okay, well, I believe this is a Super Bowl type of season when you don't have that same kind of optimistic outlook. And I'm trying to compare 2 different sports and 2 different franchises and 2 different salary caps, and I understand it may be a little muddled here, but I hope you understand my larger point that you have no championship expectations with the Bucks despite having a championship now 4 years removed or whatever. But you do have expectations for the Packers, even though you've snuck into the playoffs and your quarterback has won 9 games as a starter every year the last 3 years.
So I think it would have been different if last season, say going into that Broncos game where they were leading, instead of potentially being 9-3 with if they didn't have the bungled onside kick and all that jazz, then if you don't have that, like you're 9-3 and you are cooking, and then Micah goes down, Tucker Kraft had gone down, then it all goes to crap. Whereas this year with Giannis, they're terrible. They're awful.
Right.
So, like, it looked like we saw the potential of what this team could be last year, and then you can call it an excuse, but we were robbed of realizing that potential.
I guess I don't have championship expectations, obviously, for the Bucks this season, but going into this year, maybe that was a little bit different. I wouldn't have had expectations for an NBA championship for the Bucks, just like I don't have expectations for the Green Bay Packers to get to a Super Bowl this upcoming year. So I kind of look at it like I didn't have it for the Bucks. Why? Well, because of what they've done over the last few years since the championship. Now, do I think they could win a championship again? I don't know, but I know they won't without Giannis. But to the Packers, do I think they can be a successful team? Yes. Do I think we should be talking about a Super Bowl success? Probably not right now. Probably not. Let's get into next season, and even if next season they start off great, that doesn't mean they finish strong. You know what I mean? Like,
it's such a week-to-week league.
It is. Thank you.
I think that's the biggest thing I learned last year. It's a week-to-week league. You had week 1 and week 2, great performances.
It was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, you got like we're winning the Super Bowl.
Well, and you had Rasheed Walker saying, "Oh, we're going undefeated."
Yeah.
We're going undefeated.
And was it Jaden Reed after he broke his collarbone?
That
after
was
surgery?
funny.
We going to the bowl, bro. We going to the bowl.
Packers to the bowl, bro. Yeah, but I mean, it was fun. Look how it ended. You know, it's so week to week. You never know what's going to happen. You don't know who's going to, catch on fire. You know, the Bears really turned it on at the end of the year. At middle of the year, I was like, same old Bears. They'll fade out. Mm-hmm. They didn't. They were a really good team last year. So I mean, it's week to week, and I think that's as a Packer fan next year, that's going to be my mindset going into it. I'm not going to get too high. I'm not going to get too low. We're going to take it 1 week at a time.
You both make compelling points, yet I am still not sold. We'll continue this conversation on the other side. We have a caller, Reggie in Texas. Hold on. We'll get to you after this break. Don't go anywhere. This is the Saturday Scramble.
Stay tuned. Saturday Scramble continues after this on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Pro volleyball lives in Madison. Love Madison, Wisconsin's professional women's volleyball team, brings premier talent, elite competition, and non-stop intensity to every match. Featuring world-class athletes and high-energy action from start to finish, this is volleyball at the highest level. See elite professional sports right here in Madison. Purchase tickets today at lovmad.com/tickets. That's lovmad.com/tickets.
When a heart stops, the clock starts. You are the first responder until help arrives. In that moment, 4 minutes equals brain damage. 6 minutes equals too late in an emergency. The first responder is you. We need you. Will you be ready? Learn CPR. Visit heart.org/nation. That's heart.org/nation.
I worried that I couldn't work a full-time job and still have time for college. But I'm so glad I didn't let that stop me. At Madison College, I found my stride. My classes are flexible and hands-on, and I walk on campus feeling inspired. My advice to others? Make your dreams a reality. There's more to your story at Madison College.
Visit madisoncollege.edu to get started.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
You're listening to Saturday Scramble on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Super Bowl expectations for the Green Bay Packers. Are you still Super Bowl or bust? Our poll has switched in the ESPN Madison YouTube chat. Yes, now at 75%. No at 25%. 844-770-3776. The Carbless talk and text line. Less is more. Your way into the show. And that is how our friend Reggie from Texas joins us. Reggie, what do you got?
Hey, good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
My first thought is this. The jury on me was, the jury with LaFleur on me, I kind of came to my conclusion was 22 when he just had no answers. When the team hit that tailspin, the game in London against the Giants, and the wheels just came off. Every post-game press conference, he looked so lost. He never had any answers for anything. And that's just gone straight down. If you look at post-Cowboy win 3 seasons ago, there's been no progression. I mean, even this year, if you start looking, even before Parsons' injury, they started, I think they were 4-2 their last 6 before he got hurt. He just some of the things he does also out on the game against the Bears, the playoff game, he was coaching like he was on death row, making these crazy throwing a tackle eligible play down inside your 10-yard line, but throwing the ball to a man who doesn't handle the ball the whole game. Then you wonder why he fumbled it. Now they recovered it, but he just needs to understand that when you have the better team on paper, you got to coach your personnel. He was coaching like they were a 12-point underdog, and he's done that all his whole tenure. He never has an answer to respond to what the other team does. How many games, gentlemen, and I'll hang up, I'll let you answer. How many games have the Packers had where you've said in the second half, boy, those were some great adjustments LaFleur and the coaching staff made. Boy, that turned things around, and I appreciate you all letting me come on.
Of course. Thank you for the call, Reggie. I will say, just to answer your last question, no, there aren't any times I can think of off the top of my head where I'm like, man, Matt LaFleur just dialed up some amazing adjustments. But I will say, and I think you're right, one of his weaknesses is the inability to adapt and his struggles in high-pressure situations. But I believe it's Mark Tauscher or Brian Bulaga who has said that second-half adjustments really aren't a thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're not like
what
this
are they?
Huge overarching thing. Like, you have 15 minutes, you go, you meet with your position group and your position coach, and you talk about what went right, what went wrong, and if there are those slight adjustments. Like, it's very tightly oriented. Like, it's all small groups.
Yeah.
It's not one big team meeting.
Yeah, and that makes sense, right? Like, you have a game plan. Now, obviously, if things are going haywire at the half, you may need to make some major adjustments with these different position groups, but that does make sense to me that you have a game plan, and if they're adjusting to something you're doing, then you would make those slight adjustments to overcome that, but you still stick to the overall thought process and scout of what you wanted to accomplish that week. I get that, but that caller to me sounds like he is not.
He's out on LaFleur.
He's not Super Bowl
expectations.
You can't be Super Bowl expectations if you don't have faith in your head coach.
And I guess that's where I stand. And maybe I am in the vast minority on this. And I disagree with Reggie in the sense that I think LaFleur still can grow, I guess. I understand he's been in the league for a while. He's been a head coach for a long time now.
I think he can grow. How old is LaFleur?
I mean, early 40s,
yeah,
I believe.
I mean, he could be coaching for the next 20 years.
That's the thing. Like, I still think there's so much area for improvement. Like, Reggie.
He's 46.
46. Okay. Like, how old's Andy Reid right now? And how long did it take Andy Reid to win a Super Bowl? Respectfully. Like, and I think
67.
67. Okay. So I think there is room for improvement. And I still believe in Matt LaFleur. I understand he has been really bad in pressure-packed situations, high-intensity situations in the clutch. But I don't think that means he's going to be bad his entire tenure. Maybe I'm delusional, but I still think he is the right guy to lead this team and the right person, or puts the Packers in the best chance to win a Super Bowl and continue to elevate as a squad.
I'm usually on the side, as you could probably tell in the first hour, with trying to push it down the road as long as you can when you have somebody like Giannis. That's, my whole point was see what happens. So I'm usually on the side of, for coaches specifically, see what happens. Keep going. There's a reason you wanted the guy. Either you want him or you don't want him to lead your team. So I'm usually on that same fence of like, just let's see what happens next year. Let him do what he wants to do as a head coach. So, and I do agree with you, Riley. I think long term, when you step back and look at Matt LaFleur as a head coach, there's still probably a lot of room there for I mean, Mike McCarthy's still getting head coaching jobs, and he's 61.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he's got the elite franchises still wanting him. So, yeah, I think there still probably is. I get the frustration. Was it Reggie? I get the frustration of that, watching the Packers probably underperform in his opinion, and it goes back to the head coach, I think, in football more so than probably any other sport. But I still kind of side with you. Like, I still think there's room for improvement there. But the clock is ticking at this point as well. But
that's why I'm saying next 3 years. Like, it has to be in the next 3 years. If in 3 years nothing has changed, or they still haven't gotten over the hump, even if they make NFC Championship games, they win divisions, if they don't win a Super Bowl, then I am okay with pulling the plug and being like, it's time to move on.
Yeah, but I think then that gets down to expectations. Like, if the next 3 years, if they go NFC Championship game, fall short of the NFC Championship game, what is that to you?
Then if he loses, then what? He'd be 0-4 in NFC Championship games, I think, at that point, if he makes 2 more and loses. Then I'm out.
Then you're out. See, and that to me is, I think it depends on where you're trending. If you're getting back up to knocking on the door, like, I would probably be the opposite.
Okay, so I guess it depends on what the team, like, where are we at? I feel like you need to get into more nitty-gritty, like how much more tread on the tire. Jordan Love would probably be fine at that point.
I think so.
Like, what does the defense look like? Where does the offense look like? What does everything look like?
Yeah, there's a lot more questions there that would need to be settled. But
yes.
Yeah, I would probably be on the opposite side. Like, okay, well, he's almost there. Still give him some time.
Or if, I guess it would come down to, like, there's the old adage, like, don't make the same mistake twice. Like, make mistakes, but just don't make the same one twice. If he's still crapping the bed in late game situations, he's throwing emotional challenge flags, calling bad timeouts, out of timeouts like we saw in the playoff games against the Bears where they're getting a delay a game penalty out of a timeout. If those are still showing up in the next few years, then I am more comfortable with letting him go if they don't win a Super Bowl.
And that's my concern, too, because I think we have seen that already become a pattern over the last 3 or 4 years. The, emotional decisions on sometimes play calls, I would argue, and the challenge flags and the late game blunders, all just the culture questions people have. Are they tough enough to be in, in tight games or in big games? And so I understand why you're saying this upcoming contract extension, if he still repeats those, but I'm already seeing a pattern that he's already repeating those. So that's my one problem with him.
That's fair, and that's why I think this is his last shot. Does he improve? Does he grow? Does he push the Packers over the hump? And I think the next 3 years, if Matt LaFleur can't do it the next 3 years, I don't think he's going to be able to.
Well, how quickly would you be willing then to move on? Like, let's say next season is sneaking into the playoffs and the following season is not making the playoffs. Then you're moving on, right?
Yeah. If you then you're showing clear regression, and then you have to move on, I would say. This is the Saturday Scramble. John Arias, Owen Dimple, Riley Jauch. Thank you very much, Reggie from Texas, for the call. Go hang out with Pablo if you happen to see him, if you're near the Dallas metropolitan area.
He's headed to Buc-ee's.
Yes, he sent us a picture from Buc-ee's. Owen, if you sent it to the Scramble group chat, may have to get that up on the YouTube stream for the next segment. Riled Up is coming up next. I have something I'm riled up about, and with our special guest host John Arias, he's a little riled up as well. So don't go anywhere. Riled Up is next. This is the Saturday Scramble.
Stay tuned. Saturday Scramble continues after this on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
At Hard Rock Casino Rockford, the unforgettable experience goes far beyond the casino floor with the luxury of their dining and entertainment. Savor prime cuts and fresh seafood at Council Oaks Steak and Seafood, or explore 7 unique dining venues that deliver flavors from around the world. Then let the night ignite at Hard Rock Live, where the world's greatest acts take the stage. Hard Rock Casino Rockford, let's hard rock.
If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
There's no chill on the deals at Metro Kia of Madison. Right now, drive home a 2026 Kia K4 with 3.48% APR for 48 months. That's just $22.35 per $1,000 financed. Or step up to a 2025 Kia Sorento with 0% APR for 60 months, only $16.67 per $1,000 financed. Don't wait, deals end February 2nd. Metro Kia of Madison, where there's no chill on their deals. Visit metrokiaofmadison.com.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
Here's to a Wisconsin winter you will always remember. To playing outdoors in a winter wonderland. Here's to cozying up around the fire and holding someone close. And to staying downtown, where the food scene makes your heart sing. And to celebrating moments frozen in time. Here's to those who Wisconsin. Plan your winter getaway at travelwisconsin.com. Sponsored by Travel Wisconsin.
It is the 25th anniversary of Bowlin' for Colons on Sunday, March 1st. Help us strike out colon cancer at UW Carbone Cancer Center. Come roll with us and form a team of 4 to 5. Choose from 9 bowling centers in the Madison area. Enjoy 3 games of bowling, shoe rental, and a cool anniversary t-shirt. Spare us your excuses. Hurry up. Lanes are filling quickly. Google Bowlin' for Colons 2026 to register your team now. Let's strike out cancer with Bowlin' for Colon 2026.
You're listening to Saturday Scramble on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
This is the Saturday Scramble. Riley Jauch, John Arias, Owen Dimple behind the glass. We've been talking Giannis. We've been talking Packers, Super Bowl expectations, moving on, staying put, and all the like. But now, it's time to get riled up.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
All right, John, since you are the guest and potentially a little more unfamiliar with Riled Up, I will go first, do the honors, and then after seeing me airing my grievances, you are more than welcome to get whatever you need to off your chest. So I'm going to start by shouting out a movement going on right now on Twitter, #EndFanatics. I love that, and I absolutely hate Fanatics. They're a giant sports merchandise conglomerate. They have ruined the sale and purchasing of sports memorabilia, sports clothing, sports jerseys, sports cards, everything. It's all ruined because of Fanatics. They have bought up everything. NHL shop, NBA shop, MLB shop, NFL shop. The Wisconsin Bucky's locker room is now a Fanatics experience. It's so horrible. They price gouge the crap out of everything. It's all expensive. The quality is greatly diminished. It's the worst. I hate it. I am so glad that there are people out there right now pushing to end Fanatics, to get we need some government intervention here. Like, we need Donald Trump. He'd never do this because he's a business guy, but we need some trust busting going on. This needs to be at the federal level. I want this destroyed. I want Fanatics to be erased from existence. Break them up. Send them back to all separate companies, MLB, NBA, NHL, all the leagues, everyone. Lids, they ruined my childhood purchasing experience of hats when they bought Lids. I used to go on lids.com all the time, and they had the best deals. They'd always have some great stuff on clearance. You could buy old shirts. I bought a TCU Peach Bowl shirt from 14, I think it was, the Trevon Boykin year, just because I kind of liked the frog logo as a child, for $4. Fanatics would never let that happen. They bought lids. They ruined it. They ruin everything they touch. The quality goes down. The prices go up. It's awful. Patriots fans can't get Super Bowl jerseys right now.
Why?
Because they're out of stock.
What do you mean?
They have Drake May jerseys in blue, which aren't the jerseys they're wearing, with the Super Bowl patch on them. Those are out of stock. Then, if you want any other player, you got to do a custom order. Those are all out of stock. You can get like a triple XL of an offensive lineman, and that's about it. It's horrible. I hate them. Fanatics needs to be burned to the ground.
Have they gotten in over their heads? Like, just too much stuff, too many things
to be.
And now they can't. Quality suffers and everything else.
It's just a factory farm for sports merchandise and memorabilia.
I know they also took over the sports card market. Like, they got all the licenses
to Tops,
and
Upper
now.
Deck.
And okay, just to kind of pile onto this, and now it feels like what they want is not what the hobby of sports cards were before. They want those elite type of cards, and those boxes cost money, and they want to push it to breakers, and it's no more local hobby shops, and you can't go down and do it like when I was a kid and open up a pack of cards and get a really cool card. It's now they want you to go online, and they want somebody else to open up your pack.
Exactly.
Why do I want someone else opening up my pack? That's the best part about opening sports cards.
Yeah, and they're trying to. That's another thing, another nefarious thing about Fanatics. They're trying to make everyone addicted to sports gambling. With all that breaking crap.
Yes.
Hey, pay me money. Pay a second hand, a middleman to open your pack for you. And if you get a cool card, I'll send it to you. But if you don't get a cool card, you get nothing.
Yeah.
And you just pay me to open a pack so you'll get something. What?
Yeah.
And those breakers make a lot of money off.
They can, yeah.
Because you can either buy like a specific team, you can buy a specific division, a specific player. I mean, there's a lot of different variants of how they do these breaks. And you pay for, like, obviously each team, player, etc. I don't know what the percentage is for, like, what those breakers take from it, but it's a lot. They make a lot of money off
Well,
this.
because it's basically, like Riley was saying, it is gambling. And more times than not, a pack is a loss. You know what I mean? Just like you're losing at the casino. So they're selling losers, 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 losers. Oh, somebody just won $100,000. Losers, losers, losers. Oh, somebody won $5,000. Losers, losers, losers. And the house always wins.
Yep. Man, look at our winning percentage is crazy compared to the other breakers out there.
And all the breakers get the best cards.
Exactly. They just keep any really good one.
Yeah.
Like,
and you can't be just a normal dude like back in the day and be like, I'm going to buy a pack of cards. Oh, look, I got the super rare one. You can't do that. You need elite money, and it needs to be done through a breaker so they can get their social media video for it, and they can be like, look what we gave away.
And it's not even like my grandpa collected cards, and he gave me and my younger brothers a bunch of his cards he collected. It's not even like...
Yes, he collected them because he liked them and he liked the players.
And he liked the players.
He didn't just be like, oh, I didn't get a Mickey Mantle, next pack.
It wasn't a iridescent platinum next
Sparkle.
level.
One of one.
One of 17 Joey Bosa card. Like, come on. Like, it's ridiculous. He gave me, like, one of his prize cards was just a regular old Sandy Koufax card from, like, the 60s. Koufax, pardon me.
That's right.
From, like, the 60s or something. And he gave that to me and, like, had it in a nice little plastic sleeve to put it in. And it's awesome. I still have it because it's really cool. And it doesn't need all these special effects, or I don't need to know that it's the only one in existence for me to think it's cool.
Doesn't need any CGI.
Yeah.
We don't need special effects on our cards back in the day.
Oh, my gosh. Fanatics has ruined everything. I think we have come to that conclusion. John, is there anything else you're fired up, passionate about right now?
Why is Shedeur Sanders a Pro Bowler? What happened to these Pro Bowls, All-Star Game crap? Listen, I've been a huge defender of All-Star Games and Pro Bowls because I know I'm not watching Game 7 or the Super Bowl. I know that's not what at stake. That's not what I'm watching. The best players in the world in the All-Star Game, for example, do some cool 360 dunks and shoot from half court and turn around and don't even watch their shot go in. That's what I'm getting when I watch the NBA All-Star Game. I know in the Pro Bowl I'm not watching 4th and goal for the Super Bowl. I'm watching guys just do cool catches and stuff and not want to get hurt. That's what it turned into. But why is Shedeur Sanders, back in the day, it used to be like, oh, he's made 5 Pro Bowls. He's made 10 Pro Bowls. And then it's turned into like, you don't even want to mention that you've made a Pro Bowl. Shedeur, do we know the stats of Shedeur Sanders this year?
7 touchdowns to 10 interceptions.
Why is Shedeur Sanders
second worst quarterback rating out of all eligible quarterbacks in the NFL this year?
Why are we doing that? At least are there not any other guys that could go?
Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, I thought Trevor Lawrence was available unless he was asked and told him no.
That's the
but
thing. I wouldn't be shocked if the good players are like, nah, I'm good. I got other things I could do. I don't need to go to the Pro Bowl.
So you're saying it's more a result of just them making their product crap that they have to take. I'm not saying Shedeur Sanders won't be great, but they have to take crap players? Is that what it's turned into?
I think so.
Like they didn't even have another choice. They're like, guys, we're down to Shedeur Sanders. Should we do it? Do it.
Yeah, Keyshawn Nixon is a Pro Bowler this year. Like, come on.
I think it went all downhill after Mac Jones. I think it was his rookie year when he got elected to the Pro Bowl.
Joe Flacco's a Pro Bowler, too. Like, he got traded midseason to the Bengals.
You already have an issue with your game that nobody cares about it. And now you just keep piling onto it by making guys that shouldn't be eligible, quite frankly. I mean, if Shedeur Sanders makes it, then every single player in the league is eligible for the Pro Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that? What is that? Then that makes your Pro Bowl less valuable.
Now, I feel like now you just have to look at who are the. It's not all Americans, is it? The
all pros?
All pros, yeah. Like
that's definitely
all pros. Like that's now your designation of elite.
For sure.
Pro Bowl means nothing.
Nothing. So when I saw Shedeur Sanders, I was like, guys, what are we doing? What is this? And it's not even the Pro. What is it? The Pro Bowl games?
Exactly. Yeah, it's
Something
not even
like
a game.
that.
It's they play a flag football game. They do a skills challenge. They have the quarterback. I want to see Shedeur in like the skills challenge where the quarterback has to hit the targets, like moving across the goalpost and whatnot.
I think he would be sacked for a loss of 20 yards.
Yeah, it's
he got sacked in the challenge. Hey, but don't knock the challenges. I still think there's something, and I'll go back to the NBA. I still watch the 3-point and dunk contest. I may be one of the few remaining people, and I hate the argument that we've seen all the dunks. Go on YouTube. Go type in cool slam dunks. You have not seen all the cool dunks that could occur in this contest. There's a lot left on the table. I still like that kind of thing, but I don't know what to do with the Pro Bowl if you're putting in Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah, Grandpa Sundays in the YouTube chat. Yes, Sanders is the best that wanted to do it. That's it. Yeah, I think the elite. I don't think the elite players want to participate anymore. It's not. There's nothing extra. Like there's no extra esteem to it anymore.
It's sad, man. It's sad because it was kind of a cool thing, and I can hear the argument that no, it was not cool, John. I get that, but for me personally, I'm into. I grew up watching baseball all-star games and
baseball
NBA.
MLB all-star game is still the best by far. That's not even close.
Yeah, this gives you a greater appreciation for even like the NHL all-star game and the MLB all-star game. That it's still reflective of what the actual game is in the league.
Well, didn't the NHL? That was what the Four Nations was. That was instead of their all-star game, right?
That was
but they're playing a real game.
Exactly. Four Nations was awesome. Like, you had people out for blood for their country. Like, USA and Canada, it was fisticuffs. There were 3 fights in the first minute. They wanted it. It was awesome. That was the first time I, really cared about hockey ever. And it was an all-star game. We can do it, people. We can do it.
Exactly. I'm not a hockey fan, but I would watch that. Absolutely. It's entertaining.
Out of all the pro sports, major sports, you would watch the All-Star game over number one. Pro Bowl games would be last.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I would put the NBA All-Star weekend over.
NBA All-Star game and Pro Bowl games are right next to each other for me.
When the All-Star, do they still do this in the NBA All-Star game? Do they still have that target score, or did they already get rid of that?
I think they already got rid of it.
I think they did too.
I'm pretty sure we moved on
that
to
was the best.
The Elam ending?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It actually gave, I remember watching the first time they did that, I'm like, oh my gosh, let's go. This is exciting. Guys are trying. And it was fun. And it was just only a few minutes, compared to the entirety of the game. But I don't know.
I thought it was brilliant because it brought defense into the end of the game.
Mm-hmm.
You watched that NBA All-Star game,
and they locked up. They tried.
That was true, authentic NBA best on best basketball. That was electric.
And that's what the game is supposed to be, best on best. So that's why when you have Shedeur Sanders, that's why it feels ugh.
That it does. Thankfully, this show has not felt blah. We conclude our special edition of the Saturday Scramble with our amazing guest host, John Arias. Next, don't go anywhere.
Stay tuned. Saturday Scramble continues after this on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
All day, every day, the Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
Starion Bank redefines local banking in Madison. As a community bank with a commitment to Dane County, experience a banking relationship where your goals are our priority. Enjoy competitive deposit and loan rates and a partnership that thrives on local engagement and support. Starion Bank is more than a full-service financial institution. It's a community pillar dedicated to your prosperity. Visit one of our convenient branches in Middleton, Monona, or Sun Prairie. Starion Bank, offering banking, lending, mortgage, and cash management.
Grab the dial and crank it up, baby, because Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee is spinning its Winning Hits collection. Over the next 3 months, you could win a share of over $1 million in prizes. On top of thousands in cash and reward play, you could win one of 3 new Ford vehicles in the grand finale drawings on March 27th. Just play with your rewards card to earn entries. Press play on the Winning Hits collection, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Hey Madison IKEA fans, great news! IKEA is now closer than ever with our brand new pickup point at the University Bookstore on State Street. Order your favorite IKEA products online and pick them up as soon as the next day, absolutely free for IKEA family members. That's right, no shipping fees or waiting for deliveries, just the IKEA style you know and love, ready when you are. Start shopping smarter at IKEA.us or the IKEA app and choose the University Bookstore pickup point. Don't forget to sign up for IKEA Family. It's free to join and gives you access to great deals, rewards, and free Madison pickup.
Buying a new vehicle should be exciting, and that's what Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb aims to do. That's why they vow to give you the better buying experience. Jim Rutledge here. I've had 3 better buying experiences at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb, and I keep on going back because the experience and the Chevy is fantastic. So if you're looking for a buying experience you're going to want to repeat anytime you need a new or new-to-you vehicle, I recommend you make the short drive out to Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb, because you're only minutes away from a better buying experience at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend.
Welcome to the fantastic voyage. Marcus Johnson, the captain of this vessel.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production.
My first mate, Chris Johnson, the only father and son tandem.
Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. This week on the pod, Marcus and Chris talk to Bucks legend Terry Cummings. Find Here District now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast.
You're listening to Saturday Scramble on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Wrapping up the Saturday Scramble on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. John Arias here alongside myself, Riley Alco, and Dimple behind the glass. And I wish everyone could have seen and heard what John was doing during the break. We were talking about prank calls, and if you're unfamiliar with the website, the application, what is it? Prank
Dial?
Prank Dial?
I think it was.
Oh
yeah.
my gosh, they have these pre-recorded prank calls, and John was playing one and responding to it as it went. So John, if you could, in these final minutes, could you please recreate what you were doing?
So a little bit of background. Yeah, this used to be an app. I think it's a website. I don't remember, but I used to do this to my friends all the time. Me and my friends would do this to our friends or people we knew. And it was a website or whatever on your phone. You would put in their number, you would dial, and this pre-recorded thing would play, and they would think that somebody's talking to them, and the whole conversation would be recorded, and you'd just be laughing. And this was the one I remember the most. It was a guy who said that you hit his car, so it'd be something like, Hello? Hello? Hey, what's up?
So you the one who hit my car?
No, I never hit. What are you talking about? I never hit
You left your phone number on my windshield.
Wrong number, man. Never hit your car. Don't know what to say.
Listen, B, you scratched my fender and busted out my taillight.
No, I didn't. What?
Yes, you did.
I didn't. I didn't hit your car.
I'm your insurance company, B.
I didn't hit your car, man. I don't know what you're talking about right now. So
Yo, don't lie to me.
what are you talking about? I'm not lying, dude. You have the wrong number.
Why'd you leave a damn note?
I didn't leave a note. Okay, I didn't hit your car. I don't know what you want me to.
I'm losing my my patience.
Okay, I'm going to hang up, man, because I don't even know who you are.
What's wrong with you?
I didn't hit your car. What are you talking about?
I got your note
Okay.
right here in my own hand.
Okay, I'm going to hang up. All right, I'm going to hang up.
We did this during the break. It was hilarious. Hopefully you enjoyed that as much as we did. John, thank you so much for taking the time out of one of your only free weekends since September to spend it with us. Really appreciate
No
you
problem.
being here.
Women's basketball, Badgers against Indiana Wednesday at the Kohl Center. Go get your tickets. Go support this team. They're 11-1 at home this season.
Check them out. Also, Kelly Sheffield, end-of-year celebration, North and South Seafood and Smokehouse, 7 p.m. on Tuesday in Verona. Make sure to go check it out. We have game day coming up next, followed by ESPN College Basketball. SMU at number 20. Louisville should be awesome. And NBA tonight, Dallas Mavericks at Houston Rockets at 7 p.m. tonight across ESPN Madison. Thank you so much for tuning in today. This has been the Saturday Scramble. For John Arias, Owen Dimple, my name is Riley Jauch. God bless everybody. Have a great weekend.
It's all about the green and gold and nonsense on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
What is the main ingredient to pesto?
Dude,